There is plenty of time to ride and get ice cream, but right now, you should be watching Coffee with HDR.
Yes, good morning, everybody, and welcome back once again, my friends, to another edition of Coffee with HDR. I'm your host, HDR, and this is Coffee with HDR, show number 136 for Saturday, August the 19th, 2023. Guys, thank you for joining me here at an earlier hour today. We are talking to you at 7 a.m. instead of the normal 8 a.m. There were some scheduling conflicts there. And those scheduling conflicts basically are just with my buddy Henry. So as the people are gradually filling into the studio here and coming into the HDR household, we will just be happy to see everybody. And I never knew why, like this thing here, I never knew why this was showing me quality. Let's see. Can you get the quality up? Oh, yep, there we go. Oh, that looks better. I didn't know you could do that. Been broadcasting 136 shows and never knew I can change the studio resolution. It's pretty interesting, huh? So guys and girls out there, thanks to Bodine52 for sending me that great intro there. If you'd like your intro to show up on this show, it's very easy to do. All you got to do is get your chair set up so you get comfortable here. All you have to do is have your agent call my agent and cut a video. It should be at least 30 seconds. Would be nice. Give me about 30. Like you're doing a short, right? 30 to 45 seconds is a good intro. And you get that over to my agent. Okay, my agent, his email address is definitely on my About page on my YouTube channel. And you tell my agent you'd like to be part of this Coffee with HDR, and you can film the intro. Okay, just do a good morning, give me your channel name. Let's see here. I'll give you one. Good morning, everybody. This is Ray Gregory Rides. You're about to watch the exciting, everlasting, happily upbeat show of Coffee with HDR. Grab that coffee, grab that beverage, sit back, relax, and enjoy some motorcycle talk with Coffee with HDR. Once again, this is Ray Gregory Rides. And there you go. That's a great intro, man. That's the way to do them out there. So, Be the Rider PA today is off once again on his motor scooter. Yes, he does ride a motor scooter. It's a Honda. It's one of those old scooters, He likes to ride that. He wanted to buy a Vespa, but he just couldn't afford it, so he bought a Honda scooter. He loves that thing. It goes about 48 miles an hour, top speed, but he does crank her out. So that's what he's driving today. He's in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So let's go through here, start off with some of the good mornings with everybody on the channel. And the channel is going to be kind of wonky this morning. We're going to see some new people that can't make it at 8. And we're going to not see people that are still sleeping. So that sounds great. Thanks, Ray. See, I gave you a clue, buddy. Get me an intro. Hit me on my Instagram, Ray, and I'll tell you where to email that to. Okay. All right, guys, let's get started. Be the Rider PA is up early today, as he always is. He's getting his motor scooter ready to go today. He's probably like putting some lights on it and stuff and getting it all geared up. Good morning to Henry, who's in there this morning. Good morning, Henry. And this is a little early for the birds. Pete Moto Ventures, how dare this guy get us up so early? JK is almost always up this early. Pete Moto's Ventures is always up this early too. I got a great opportunity to live with the man for like a week. When you live with people, you tend to know who's getting up in the morning, and you tend to know who's not going to be ready to ride until 10 a.m. Pete would be ready to ride with you at 5 a.m. if you asked him to. He'd be up, geared up, and on his bike, ready to roll, because that's the kind of guy Pete is. Great guy there. If you're not watching Pete's Moto Adventures, I don't know what you're watching, because it's one of the highly top-rated YouTube shows on the internet. Go back to day one of his Alaskan trip. He's been putting those up pretty regularly. Go back and start watching that amazing trip. Guys, many of us sit back and we go, one day we'd like to go to Alaska. And we never do. We never do. For one reason or the other, we just don't. Pete said, I'm going to Alaska in 2 years. He planned for 2 years. He bought a Harley Pan America for the trip. He bought it especially for this Alaskan trip. His buddy had a BMW adventure bike. I don't know the model of a BMW, but what was really great about it, guys, is they did it. They did it. And man, I tell you what, 20-some thousand miles they put on their motorcycles in like a month, man. They were out. So, yeah, many of us say we're riders, and we're not riders at all. But good morning to you, Pete Moto Ventures. Be the Rider PA said, I'm up anyways. I'm here in the mountains of central Pennsylvania. Good morning, HDR. Hope everybody's having a great morning. That's from Ray. Harley 103's in the house. Good morning to you. Caught me by surprise being early today. Harley 103, let me tell you what, my friend. I put it out in the community chat yesterday on my YouTube channel, and this morning I did throw it up on Instagram. So thank you for waking up early. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's a big deal. Really, really big deal. Be the Rider PA, Harley 103. Robert Bucky, good morning to you, my friend. Glad to have you on board here with us this morning. Let's see here. Thumbs up for Rory. Rory Gregory Rides. And guys, if you're not watching Ray Gregory Rides, Ray Gregory Rides. If you're not watching him, I don't know why not, because he's one of those other exciting YouTubers out there, and he does ride. My man rides like every day. He's retired. He has 2 Harley Davidson motorcycles, plus his wife has a Harley Davidson trike. So I would be watching that channel. You know, it's an up-and-comer, you know. You might even want to invest some money in it, because later on it's going to be making a fortune. Okay, so you might want to invest some money in his channel. I'm just kidding. We don't ask for money. We never do. And that's just the way we roll here. But he is a good guy. He's a great guy. I got to sit and break bread with him one night and have dinner with him and at Applebee's, you know, and it was a good time. So Harley 103, we are already kickstands up at 8 a.m., but sometimes earlier on a lot of our rides. Yeah, so sometimes bringing this show to you at 7 a.m. instead of at 8 a.m. Sometimes that's a blessing for a lot of you, because I know a lot of you like to get out there at 8 o'clock and ride. Myself and Henry have plans together this morning. We were going to do it at 9 o'clock, but I said, look, dude, I'm going to roll my show back and have it at 8 o'clock. Some of you might be thinking, HDR, why do you have those stupid headphones on your head? What's with this ridiculous look that you have this morning? Well, this ridiculous look comes from last week's show. When I started getting comments after the show, and you guys didn't really pick up on it, I guess, that my audio was very, very low, okay? The audio was very, very low, and, you know, this microphone is supposed to be about 2 inches or an inch from your mouth. Okay, that's how it's built. It's a high-quality studio microphone. It's running through a USB adapter, and it's also running through, I also run this microphone through a preamplifier. Now, about 2 weeks ago, so before last show, I was doing a couple videos for my other channel. Yes, I have another channel. I got 10 YouTube channels, and I was creating a video for that channel, and I had the gain turned down for whatever reason. I don't know what I was doing, working on some audio settings, but I got it too low for that show. Normally you don't see this microphone in my shot, because I normally keep it down, but it's made to be close to your mouth, like this. The closer it is, the better it sounds, right? You got good, solid audio that way, okay? I don't have to talk loud. I could talk in a normal voice, but you can hear me relatively easily. I like to sit back from the mic a little bit. Again, it's not bad, right? But what happens is when you push this mic down, and then you have a problem. Yeah, Be the Rider PA said for once he took his computer with him so he can tag people in the chat. So anyway, guys, I was sitting there this morning, I was thinking, well, what the heck am I going to talk to you about? So I always start this show off talking about what I've done in this past week, okay? And today's not going to be any different. I'm going to tell you what I've done in this past week. Right after I take a sip of coffee. Hey, Anonymous Biker, good morning. Welcome aboard there this morning. Glad to have you in there. Daylight is burning. It is. Daylight is coming. It's going to be a beautiful day here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Be about 75 today. Gorgeous day outside. Gorgeous day yesterday. Absolutely gorgeous day. Here's the problem. So if you watched it, and many of you probably did not watch it, that's okay. If you watched Jack's rides, I took the Himalayan last Saturday. I think it was Saturday. And I went out and I found a brand new campground. Okay. It's a park. I pass this road all the time. It's on Route 2 in West Virginia. And I drive down through there all the time. And every time I drive through, I see this park off to the right. And I'm always thinking, I want to go up there one day and see what's up there. What does that park look like? So I took the Himalayan last Saturday. I rode about 70 miles on it. Yes, my ass was hurting. Yes, a $300 seat, and it needs broke in, guys. I got to get at least like maybe 3,000 or 4,000 miles on that seat before it's broke in. Right now, it is nothing but hemorrhoid city. So, Anonymous Biker, putting that out there for you too, buddy, because it is a seat, concept seat. And you know, it's a wonderful seat because I bought the tall seat. Anonymous Biker, I don't know how tall you are, but I bought the tall seat because it gets you up off the pegs a little bit. It lets you kind of stretch your knees a little bit more than what you are when you're all tucked on that Himalayan, right? So anyway, let's get back to Bodine 52's in the house. Good morning, Bob, and thank you again for the intro, Bob. You'll see that again at the 30-minute mark. We will be playing that intro from Bodine 52. So anyway, back to the seat. You like the stock Himalayan seat, Anonymous Biker? And a lot of people do. A lot of people love that stock seat. For me, you've heard me talk about it many times probably. Let's just say things was rolling on that seat that shouldn't have been rolling. Like I couldn't sit on that seat. I kept sliding down and sliding down and sliding down, right? So the bike really is not tall enough for me to get my legs down, so my knees were up around the top of the gas tank. So that's why I bought the tall seat concept seat. Now, looking at seat concepts, if you see on there it says firm, it also says stuff in there like you can have a firm seat, you can have a little bit softer seat. I probably should have ordered a softer seat. I ordered the firm one. I wanted it to be like a bench. Well, buddy, it's like a brick. Okay, it's a $300 brick underneath my butt. So, but I've talked to a lot of guys around the world that's bought them, and they told me, I'm going to take this off now. I know you can hear me okay, right? Everybody can hear me okay. I'm going to take these off so I don't listen to myself anymore. As cool as it is. As cool as that is, sometimes you just don't want to hear yourself, and this is probably one of those times. All right. 75% of the time you're standing anyway, and that's great, man. I stand on the Himalayan play about 70% of the time, I'd say, not quite 75. Of course, I mean, you know, I can get very honest with you with the Himalayan, you know. It's one of those bikes, like it was a great buy. It was fun to buy, and for the reasons I bought it for, it was really cool. And now, honestly, my text group knows here, I've told them a few times, I'm on the borderline of I want to sell it, but Be the Rider PA told me it's only worth $1,000, and I still owe $4,000 on it. So, kind of upside down when I sell it. If you know, I am going to sell it for more next. It does have a stage 1, and it does have that new seat on it. So I am going to sell it for more than $1,000 outright, but I am thinking that's going to be the first bike to go. And the reason is, guys, I'm just done riding trails. I'm done riding gravel. You know, as exciting as it was, you know, I'm over it. So I worked it out of my system. What I'm looking for is a new street bike. You know, something different for the street. You guys know Mrs. HDR has been looking for that India motorcycle forever. So if the Himalayan goes, I may be going for the new street bike. So if I do that, there will not be an Indian channel. It'll just be two different street bikes on the HDR channel, and that's just the way life is. So, but yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Um, Bodine said he'll give me 1,200 today. Yeah, that's what Be the Rider PA said. HDR put it on Marketplace, he says, and I probably will do something like that. I'll probably put on Facebook Marketplace and see what kind of hits I get on it. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. So I had looked at a couple other, and it's kind of weird because as much as I say I'm done riding dirt and gravel, I like the feel of an adventure bike. But that adventure bike is not really. Let's just say, look, to be honest, to be straightforward with you, the Harley Davidson Pan America is probably the adventure bike that I would want. The reason that is, it has enough power, it has enough gump to take it touring. You can take it somewhere, right? Like Pete did, like Colin does at times. He takes his Pan America, and then when they get somewhere, then they can ride off road. Okay, with the Himalayan guys, I would have to trailer it, and I don't have a trailer, so and but at the end of the day, let me just point this out and clarify this. At the end of the day, I am truly 100%. I worked outside all day yesterday, and I worked in the garage a lot, looking around my garage. I am truly 100% blessed to have what I have, right? Not many guys, a lot of people in this world still, love it or hate it, all the controversy. I know Bob did a video on a couple of them. Bob did a couple, Harley Davidson type videos. I did a couple. There are 150 million people out there that hate Harley Davidson motorcycles. But here's the truth of it is, there's 14 quadrillion billion people that love Harley Davidson motorcycles that want one. I've been blessed enough to own 4 of them so far. So, I look in the garage and I thought, well, and the Himalayan's just sitting there, she's just collecting a little bit of electricity and she's all happy. And I told Be the Rider PA one day, it might even be a bike I might just keep, right? Might just hang on to it because maybe my grandkids want to ride it. I mean, who knows? We'll see. Be the Rider PHTR, just get the CVO, you want it. We'll talk about that in a minute here. Anonymous Biker, Hemi is awesome. And you're right, Anonymous Biker, the Himalayan is an awesome motorcycle. And I believe when they come out with the Himalayan 650, it's going to be an even more amazing motorcycle. But I listen to Bodine and I talk to him a lot, and he tells me that the KLR 650 is not a fast motorcycle. People say it's slow. It's a 650, right? We have a 411. So, and I don't know if I want fast, but here's what Mrs. HDR said. She said this. This is her exact quote. You need to shut the hell up about buying motorcycles. Be blessed with what you have, which I am truly blessed. I am truly, truly thrilled with what I have. And just live life to its fullest. She said, why do you always want shit? Why do you always want to buy stuff? And guys, I don't know you guys in here, right? I mean, I don't know what you guys think about that. Preach it, brother. But 650 is a whole different deal. You don't need fast on dirt. An honest biker said that's true. You want fast, buy a Haba USA. Bodine says, I love Mrs. HDR. So she said, why do you guys always want to buy new? Why do you need new? What's this new stuff? Always new. So I came home. I sent her pictures of the new Road Glide CVO. I took her to a dealer to see the new Road Glide CVO before I turned the price tag over. She said, I absolutely love this motorcycle. She said the dash has been all reinvented. It's got a big boom entertainment system on it, which we don't really one way or the other care about music. But all the gauges are in that entertainment system. She said, I just like the way it looks. And, the color is beautiful. And well, then I turned the price tag over. After 15 minutes of CPR, I did revive my wife. I got her back off the Harley Davidson showroom floor. I stood her up. I shook her off a little bit. I promised to go buy her a donut. And we talked a little bit about it. So here is her thought process. The thought process is our Road Glide Ultra is almost paid off. You guys know that. Like another payment or two, payment and a half, you know, that gets at the end. And it will be ours. So we have 100% equity. I said, look, hon, if we trade this bike in, they give us $25,000 because if you're buying a $50,000 motorcycle, you're going to want 25. We're only going to be financing 25,000. We financed 32,000 when we bought the Road Glide Ultra. So I said, really, we'll be ahead of the game. She looked at me with these serious eyes and she said, how in the hell do you think you're ahead of the game? If you have zero payments and now you're financing something, $25,000 for another 7 years, how are you ahead of the game? So she took me immediately to the car. She put a little cool cloth on my head. She thought I was having a heat stroke. She gave me four Tylenol because she thought I was having some kind of headache or some kind of blood clot or something going on. And she says, what? So, because you're men, we always want. Let me talk to that Ray. Okay? Let me talk about that Ray about want. Okay? Pete Motivant said, I just can't spending anything over $30,000 on a bike. It's just me. But then again, Pete, I'm not spending over $30,000 for a bike. I'll be spending 20, 25. I'll be financing maybe for a brand new CVO. But then I seen my buddy Ty from Tennessee that had a CVO. The hardest thing about having a CVO, guys, is once it's 2 or 3 years old, getting rid of a CVO. All right? Because you know it's still worth a boatload of money, but nobody's going to buy it because they're going to buy a brand new CVO for what you want for your CVO. And me with paint, did you see my video about making changes on your motorcycle and making different upgrades on your motorcycle? Guys, my bike, and Be the Rider PA the other day, the back fender is scratched to hell. I got scratches all over it from the Tourer pack getting stuck. I got a dented front fender from a stone chip hitting the front fender and putting a dent in it. And Miss HDR says, well, that gives it, what did she say? That gives it a little bit of class? Not class. What the hell word? I forget the word she said. But anyway. So let's go take my KLR for the Trini AB. Add interest, and it's well over that. Pete, you're right. You're right with the interest, that's for sure. Today's interest rate, guys, don't buy anything. I was seriously looking at buying a new bike. Many of you know that. And I was out there, and the interest rate, I did that. I did a whole video. If you didn't see it, go out and watch my video where I talked about interest rates. I pulled them right off the Harley website. It says, your interest rate will be, we will screw you for a long time, times the daily rate of getting screwed more, times the total price of the bike, times the setup, times the taxes, times the blah, 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 blah. But guys, their interest rates now on a brand new bike are like 7.48. No, wait, 6.49 for a new one, 7.49 for a used motorcycle. You know? They're becoming loan shark rates, all right? You'd be better off to go to Guido down the street and say, Guido, can I borrow, $25,000? He's going to be like, yeah, that interest rate's going to be 25% compounded daily. Same thing. Interest rate at my credit union, through the roof. And, guys, I don't pay interest rates on credit cards. I'm that guy that uses his credit card through the month to earn, cash back points and cash back rewards. And at the end of every month, when that statement comes in, guys, pay off your credit card. Pay it off. Interest rates are nothing more. It's going to kill you. You're going to be dead. Okay, that's the way it works. Go to Cycle Trader and trade with somebody, anonymous biker. That's a great thought, buddy. I didn't think of that. Doesn't mean it's okay. Be the Rider. Be the Rider PA said, ton of parts are on back order. Be the Rider PA said, ton of parts are on back order. HDR update your boom system and you will be happy. And I am looking at SoundStream. Thinking about putting SoundStream on the Harley. SoundStream, front shocks are definitely going to be on there, and a stage 1. That's the 3 things that I want to do to the Harley. And very obtainable. The SoundStream will probably go in this winter. I'm going to tear the bike back down this winter. Put the new audio system in. And it has all the Apple CarPlay And it has that other one too, Android, whatever. I don't do that Android stuff. I don't know. I don't like that stuff. Apple CarPlay. But I'm waiting. They're supposed to be bringing out a new one that has an independent GPS. Because the way it works now, guys, I don't know if you've ever had this happen to you or not, but when you're out and you're riding and you're using an Apple CarPlay, some places you can get into where there's no GPS signal for your cell phone. So I like to have an independent GPS also. Preach it. I treat my card as a charge card. Pay it off every month. Pete's Moto Adventures, you're right. Pay it off every month. Guys, we were in, and I was younger, and my daughter, our kids, right? Our kids are younger. And they'll call me, and they'll say, Dad, look, I bought this blah, blah, blah on a charge card. I only have to pay $22 a month for the next 14 years. I said, you know, the blah, blah, blah will be gone before 14 years is over, and you're still going to be paying for it. Never buy anything you can't afford. I'm trying to live by that rule sometimes. And guys, I got so many comments on my finance video I did. People are very vocal in this world. Mrs. HDR said to be a YouTuber, you have to have very strong shoulders and a strong backbone. Because people will bitch about stuff all the time. That's just the way life is, right? Well, if you just walk in with a suitcase of money, guys, most people don't have a suitcase full of $35,000 in it. Most people don't have that, right? I probably am one of those people. Okay? Now, am I one of those people also that finance something for, say, 5 years and pay it off in 3? Yes, we are. That's what we do. We always pay more at the back end than you get to all those finance charges knocked off. Very, very important to do that. So, all right. Let's see what else is in there. Anonymous Biker, let me tell you what, man, your Goldwing video almost had me running out to buy the Goldwing. Between you, Mike Killy 7, Moose, and now my buddy, Payne's Rides, all have Honda Goldwings. And get this, what's her name? What the hell's her name? What's his name? The big YouTubers from Florida, right? Lacey, is that her? She just bought a Honda Goldwing. Yeah. So the Goldwings are coming up. They're getting to be a very, very popular motorcycle again, and I think that's awesome, you know. And I have never test rode one. I have heard multiple people tell me that Honda does not allow people to test ride their motorcycles, which I think is total BS. I'm not going to buy something for 30 grand unless I can test it and see if I like the way it feels under my butt, right? You spend 30 grand, go home 2 days later, you're like, this is the worst thing I've ever bought in my life. They're not going to take it back. So, Ray said, I did a stage 1 on my 19 Road King. Can't feel any difference, but it sure sounds good. Well, that's great. That's great. The Starship motorcycle with airplane mode. Sport mode is spectacular. Anonymous Biker, I love the way you did the front of that bike for Bob. I know you recorded that for Bob because Bob says, I hate the way the Honda Goldwing engines look. It looks stupid. They're laying sideways. I loved when you got in front of that motorcycle and said, look, dude, it's black, man. It just blends right in. And it did. You couldn't even really tell there was an engine there behind, you know, behind the front fairings and stuff, the way it went back. It looked awesome. So... And Honest Biker, you said that in your video, buddy. And as soon as I watched your video, I went out and I tried to find a rental place. I found one in Connecticut. I found one in Maryland. I couldn't find anything in Pennsylvania. So I do want to rent a Goldwing. I think that's an awesome idea. And guys, if you're not watching Anonymous Biker USA, then you know what? You're probably missing out across the internet. Because these are videos that are so informative. So well done, so well documenting rides, right? You're probably missing out. So as soon as you're done watching this live stream today, don't do it now. As soon as you're done, you're going to go over and you're going to search him out, Anonymous Biker USA. You're going to hit that subscribe button and, you know, and be a part of that community also. It's time for a mid-show commercial. Toby Northern's in the house. Good morning, Toby Northern. Here we go.
There is plenty of time to ride and get ice cream, but right now, you should be watching Coffee with HDR.
All right, Bodine52, thank you once again for that. That is really nice. Did you see he's standing from an ice cream shop? And you see, it looks like he has, I don't know what bike he had. Well, I don't think that was the Road King. I think that was Princess, Duchess, Princess, Duchess, Duke. Hey, anonymous biker, thanks, man. You didn't even have to get a hold of my agent for that little commercial for you there. But you know what? I will push channels out there, and I've been doing it since I started on YouTube, to people that I really like to watch. You know, I'm probably like you guys. I'll probably subscribe to, I don't know, 100,000 motorcycle YouTube channels, probably somewhere in that neighborhood. And you know, when you're scrolling through and looking for something to watch, there's certain ones you click on, right? We have the Fab Five, and we each watch each other's videos. That's because we do, right? Sometimes we critique those. Sometimes we'll text each other and be like, "Dude, that absolutely sucked. You know, you're a stupid butthole for putting that out." But sometimes you just go, you're like, anonymous biker, boom, right? Ray Gregory rides, boom. What's he doing today? You know, Miss HDR will be out doing the dishes after, you know, having a lovely dinner at the end of the day. Good morning to Tamar007. Nice to have you on board there with us this morning. Thanks for joining us at this early hour. Told the ice cream store was closed. Well, hey, Bob, it worked out for me because I got an intro out of it. If it was open, you probably wouldn't have filmed an intro. So think about that. That was good. Anyway, but guys, the people that I like to watch, you know, that I stop on every time, I do promote your videos. And, you know, in all honesty, why not? We're all doing the same thing. We're all trying to get people to have enjoyment out of our motorcycle rides. And that's a great thing. So, Pete Moto Adventures has a new video up. Watch it after this show. There you go. Pete's Moto Adventures has a new video out. Don't go watch it right now. Stop. Do not change the channel. What I want you to do is watch it right after you're done watching this. Go over and watch that. Check it out. Give him a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, you know. Join his Patreon. Pete has a great Patreon. Pete right now has probably about 120 people in his Patreon. He started a month ago. Okay. Minimum monthly charge to be a Patreon member is $10 a month. And he will send you a hat. Okay. He'll send you a hat that says Pete's Moto Adventures. A hat with the little Alaskan symbol on it because he was in Alaska. So check that out. Yeah, you have a what? You do. Now you do. Now you have a Patreon. And Bodine said, and Pete's OnlyFans. So when you join that Patreon, you will get special videos. You get special stuff comes out of his garage. You'll get to see him in shorts more. So it's always a treat. All right. Pete going big time. Pete's going for the number one spot. All right, let's back it up. Rewind it, Jack. You begin this podcast. You begin this stream. And just so you guys know, if you can't watch this video, don't try to watch it in your car. On YouTube now, there is something called YouTube Podcasts. If you attach one of your playlists to that new YouTube podcast, you have to have a special thumbnail. People can listen to your videos instead of watching them. Okay. And I don't know how the revenue sharing works on any of those. I do with these live streams just so people don't wreck their car when they're going down the road. They can now just put it on their radio and listen to it as a podcast. So all these do go there automatically after the show's over. Ting Wingman, good morning to you and all the boys and girls here at Motorcycle Land. Toby Northern, good morning. I've seen you popped in there. Mike Bodine's in the house. Good morning to Mike. All right, let's go back. What has HDR been doing this past week? Well, guys, it comes that time of the year. Many of you know that I'm an educator. And there comes that time of the year when you get that email, welcome back. Here's what we have planned for you this week. I was like, oh, God. And they send it out 2 weeks before you're due back. Guys, send it out the day before I come back, right? Okay, here's the bad thing. HDR, why in the heck are you looking at your school email 2 weeks before you go back? That's the question, right? No reason in the world. There's a lot of parents email you, though, through the summer. They don't know why, but they do. You know, I guess I do know why. I mean, in the scheme of things, so let's say, roll back, guys, when your kids were younger, right? You took them first day to kindergarten. Didn't you want to know everything you could know about that kindergarten classroom, about the teacher, about. And so we do. We get new parents emailing us all the time about like what's going to happen with my child at your school, and it's different, right? Being we're a tech school, their kids leave their high school, jump on a bus, and they come over to us. They get off the bus, they come into our classroom. It's a totally new adventure for them, and they don't know what's going to happen to their child. So, but anyway, we get this email. So day one we go in. Day one we go in, and there's PD to do, professional development. They tell us what's going to happen. The superintendent welcomes us back and tells us, you know, about the great stuff that happened in the building, all the new floors, all the new LED lightings in the hallway, which is awesome, man. You can see everything now. It's bright. I mean, super bright. You know, new cameras are put here and there. New swipe cards are here and here, you know, so you get all the preliminary stuff out of the way. And then you have a couple kind of trainings until like lunchtime. You go to lunch, come back, and then you get to work in your room until the end of the day where you get to go home again. Next day, it's the same thing. The third day, we have a mini conference. The mini conference is you get 4 or 5 different schools together, okay? So we get to meet our peers, teachers that teach the same thing I teach, from other schools across the Pittsburgh region, which is awesome, and I enjoy that. I like sitting around talking to them. But there was a 2.5-hour keynote speech. Now, guys, if you've ever been to a conference, you know a keynote speech should be no longer than 45 minutes, tops. 2 hours. All right, you're ready to rip your eyeballs out. The lady was a nice enough lady. I'm not saying she was bad or anything, just very long-winded. Kind of like HDR is on one of his morning videos when he's riding his motorcycle. He starts jibber-jabbering about nothing at all. Long-winded. Bunch of BS. But by the end of a 2-hour keynote, you can't even remember what she talked about within that first half hour because it's information overload. Jack with Kids is Scary, Anonymous Biker said. Anonymous Biker, let me tell you about that too. I'll tell you about that in just a minute. So Thursday, 2 days ago, we don't have to be at work until noon. Now, you say that, and you guys are new, no, and I used to say it too because, you know, my wife used to teach. Miss Sacer used to be a teacher. So she came home one day after 20 years and said, look, I'm either going to quit or jump off the bridge. You take your pick. And I thought about it for a while. I gave that some consideration. I'm like, well, where's your insurance papers? No, I didn't give it any consideration. I told her, you know what? After 20 years, you deserve to quit. She threw in the towel and she quit teaching. And many veteran teachers are doing that today. And it's not because of the kids. It's because of the bureaucratic bullshit that we have to deal with. That's what it's about. And that's the truth. Okay? Anyway, so we go to work at noon on Thursday. We're going to have new parent-teacher orientation at 5 p.m. Our dinner was 3:30 to 4:30. I go carry my suit in because we get to wear junk clothes through the day because you're fixing your room all up. I walk in with my suit. I'm carrying it. There's already parents walking in the door at 4:30. Not supposed to be there till 5. Most of the staff aren't dressed yet. We have to dress in our, Sunday bests, right? It's a world of make-believe. You got to make believe these parents are you're some kind of, and I told these parents, I said, guys, let me tell you, you guys might know this. I live by the Steve Jobs rule. If you don't know what the Steve Jobs rule was, Steve Jobs once said, dress clothes and dressing up pretty does not make you any more intelligent, right? You could be just as intelligent naked as you are with a suit on. To me, when I put a suit on and parents come in, I think I'm trying to be above them. I'm not. I don't want to be above my parents. So first thing I asked the parents, I said, do you mind if I take my suit jacket off? It was 150 degrees in the classroom. They said, no, go ahead, take that suit jacket off. We don't care. I said, I'll still be as professional as I can be. And I told them, I said, guys and girls in this classroom, I don't know, you're from all walks of life. I said, I am the same as you. I wake up in the morning, I take a shower, I eat my breakfast, right? I pack up my bag, I put it in my car, and I go to work, right? I work in a classroom teaching your children, okay? Their job as a parent is, guys, if you have kids in school, listen to this. Your job as a parent is, and those ones that came to that in-service showed me already, that they want to be involved with their child. Now, you don't want to be overly involved. You don't want to call the school because your child came to school and a kid called him a snot nose or something, and they're going to fight. Don't get too hovering with your kids. let them evolve and be children. We will take care of those kids. And I told these parents, I will take care of your kids 100%. I will take care of your children, make sure they're safe, and make sure they learn. Your job as a parent is make sure they come here ready to learn. Make sure they take a shower in the morning, right? Sometimes kids stink, need a shower. Very important. That's right, Steve Jobs. Pay people smarter than you to create things and then sell them. Ray Gregory, I don't know about that because I don't look good naked. Ray says. Mama Spiker said, oh, he said BS. Yes, I said BS. I did say BS. So, let me tell you guys. I'm going to tell you for a minute. And this is what, first thing I do when these parents come in is I show a slideshow from kids from last year. And what I like to do with that is I take pictures all year long of kids just in the classroom. And I tell these parents, these are not going on social media. These don't go on my YouTube channel because a lot of them said, we know you use HDR. And I'm like, that's cool. Now let's move on. None of them said that actually, but anyway. So I start off with a slideshow. And I told these parents, whenever I feel, sometimes in the summertime, about midsummer, sometimes during the school year, guys, I just want to ask Bob. Ask Bodine 52. He will seriously, honest to God, tell you. He can't tell you much of our counseling sessions because those are private. And we do have patient-doctor confidentiality between me and Bob. He has heard me go off the deep end so many different times. You know, and he never gets tired of listening to it. You know, that's the love for your friends. And I always have that. Because Mrs. HDR, you know, she did it for 20 years. She says, shut up. She says, suck it up, buttercup. Do a better job tomorrow. Or quit. That's, you know. But what I do is I watch a slideshow that I created last year. And I watched it with these parents. I told them, that slideshow is what makes me come back every day. Very important. By the end of this session, and I didn't know it either, we had 2 sessions. Nobody told us. So from 5 to 6, we had a session. Then 6 to 7, we had a session, right? So 5 to 6, I had these parents in there, and somebody's knocking on the door, and I'm like, who in the heck's knocking on my door? I'm trying to be in a session with parents, right? Mr. HDR, yes, you have another group of parents for your second session. There's a second session? The first parents didn't want to leave. They're like, Mr. HDR, this is them saying, you are so energetic and so funny. We just want to hang out with you for the next hour. Is that okay? I'm like, no, go home. You can go home now. You know? But I shook everybody's hand. I shook this one parent's hand. And the parent looked at me right in the eye and he said, Mr. HDR, he said, will we have a chance to sit one-on-one and talk to you again throughout the year? And I said, you'll have 2 chances, sir. I said, we have a parent-teacher conference night, and we also have an open house later on through the year. You can gladly come back to that, and I'll gladly sit and chat with you. And I tell all the parents, email me if they need anything else. So, but anyway, Anonymous Biker said, Bodine, 5K and a GW for the Ultra. Would you do that? Oh, there you go. There you go, Bob. Bob, so for $5,000, you can buy the Goldwing and your Ultra. Oh, true. Remember, Bob does have a limited. Anonymous Biker, it's called a limited. So, just to put that out there. Just saw the headline. Oregon and Utah announced mandated GPS trackers in electric vehicles to tax drivers per mile per driven. Electric bikes, too. That's ridiculous. Bob Nelson, good morning. Good morning from Jaco Island. Man, you're really out there this morning. So, you and them damn HDR cool ad. Cool ad? So that was this week. And here's another thing that I happened to talk to our union president about. I don't know if you've ever been in a union. This is the first union I've ever been a member of. I've always been the company man, you know. So I was talking to the union president not yesterday, Thursday. And I said, you know what, buddy? I said, we are truly given a gift. because we have 4 days of in-service, and then we have 4 days off. Okay? They give us Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. We start back with the kids on Tuesday. As long as your room's ready. Some of the teachers probably went in yesterday to get some final touches done in their rooms if they had to, but I worked really hard on Thursday all day to get everything prepared. So I know when them students walk in, I'm ready to go. So, Anonymous Biker said, I sold to some guy who wanted to overpay for... What'd you sell anyway, Anonymous Biker? You must have sold your Harley. Ricky KM, good morning. Riding to the Woodward Dream Cruise this morning. Looks like great weather for a ride. You're going to have a good day today, guys. Good day to ride. Let's talk about yesterday. So yesterday, I called my buddy Henry. My buddy Henry had to go to a chiropractor and get worked on at a wellness center and work out. Anyway, I wanted to go to this place, and my other buddy, Be the Rider PA, you know, he just leaves you every now and then. You want to do something with him, and he just, oh, no, I'm going to be going to Gettysburg to ride my motor scooter, and I can't see you today. And so I had nobody to play with yesterday. Mrs. HDR, well, you remember I showed you a campground video, so I was going to camp this weekend. That was my biggest mission this weekend. Mrs. HDR left yesterday, Friday. I was going to pack up the Himalayan and go camping. She's looking at the weather. She goes, it's going to be 47 degrees Saturday morning. Are you really going to be wanting to sleep on the ground in a tent? I said, well, hell no. I don't want to sleep on the ground in a tent. And the cabins at this campground are about, I don't know, $90 a night. I'm not spending that either for myself. So I decided I wasn't going to camp. So I told her before she left, I said, it's okay, hon. I'm going to this thing called Iron Pony. Iron Pony. It's a big motorcycle showroom with like 100,000 motorcycles in it in Columbus, Ohio. They have gear, they have pipes, they have handlebars. I was going to take the motorcycle. It's 175 miles one way. Then she tells me, that's a very long way to ride, 175 miles. So I thought, well, I'll call my buddy Henry up and see what he's doing. Sometimes he likes to go for a ride. We could, he don't have a bike anymore, so we'll take the car. And then I could bring home more parts. That was my mission. He was busy. So I thought, well, she left. She went to go to one of our daughter's houses with our other daughter. And Be the RPA should have rode up here. You could be riding the mountains today. That would have been cool, too. I didn't even think about that, Be the RPA. I should have yesterday. That would have been awesome. Yeah, Pete Motor Adventures to Mary, 175 miles is well, now you're talking 350 miles round trip. But then she looked at me and she goes, well, wait, you did that 500-mile challenge. She said, go for it. So she called me yesterday when she got to her destination. She said, what are you up to? I said, I'm at Walmart. She said, why are you at Walmart? I said, I'm buying a 12-pack of beer. She said, why are you buying a 12-pack of beer? She said, I thought you were going to Columbus. I said, I scratched the idea altogether. You know, because I went outside. I started thinking about not keeping up my end of the bargain of marriage. You know, sometimes you think about that. I go to work. You know, I bring home the bacon. Mrs. HDR stays home. She cooks the bacon. But there's things around the house when you look around your household that you could do outside of riding a motorcycle. And I know that's HDR. What the hell are you talking about? Well, I started looking at things I could do around the house. The grass was getting high. The driveway looked like crap. You guys know we put in that, $400,000 worth of concrete out there. And I thought, you know what? The gas grill needed cleaned. There's stuff that I've been neglecting that's part of my duties in a marriage that I had to take care of. So I decided I was going to work around the house. And good morning, Paul. Glad you're in there. 175 miles, just enough to get the bike warmed up. You guys are right. Now I understand the drunk Texas last night. Were there drunk Texas last night? Maybe. Anyway. So yeah, I decided I would do the stuff around the house and try to get that done. I knew I had today planned actually with Henry. You're right. Peter RP is right. I'll be with Henry today. So That's why I moved the show up a little bit in an hour, and that's okay. So we can hang out a little bit more. I mean, it's getting colder outside, guys. I was looking at the motorcycles yesterday thinking, yeah, riding season is about over for us here in Pennsylvania. We're getting close. You know, you're looking at, this is already the end of August, so you're September, October, and you're pretty much done. A couple months. Anyway, so that's kind of what happened there. Snap out of this HDR and go ride, Bodine said. Well, today I'm not riding because today, or snap out of what? The household stuff, Bob? Sometimes you got to fix the house up. But here is the problem, guys. I don't have any video for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday, right? Yeah, and I have no video. I didn't do a video Thursday. I didn't do one Sunday. My texting group, the Fab Five, and guys, Mrs. HDR, we put my phone in her car, like on the Apple CarPlay, and the text message list came up, and it said Fab Five, and she goes, "Oh my God." She said, "Is that what you guys call yourself?" I said, "Yeah, we're the Fab Five." She was freaking out. Most of those guys know once school starts and I'm in that school mode, guys, for 9 months, it's kind of what I eat, live, and breathe. I've been doing some therapeutic Instagramming. A lot of teachers on Instagram, a lot of teachers will tell you, veteran teachers will tell you, go to school, do your schoolwork. I like to go in a half hour early in the morning and get ready, or you can stay a half hour after school's over and get ready for the next day. But they say when you walk out, don't think about school until you go back in the doors the next day. You have to adjust family and work balance, right? And teachers don't do that. We suck at that. So, anyway. All right, Anonymous Biker, you have a great day out there, mine. Time to get that engine rolling and get out there and get riding. Ray says that's why he loves living in Georgia. He can ride year round. Yeah, we don't really get that year round riding. And that's okay. My time is too precious. I pay people to do that crap for me. Anonymous Biker, if I did that, Mrs. HDR would have a conniption shit fit. And she just, you know, I always say that, man. I would love to pay somebody to do my grass. It only takes me 40 minutes to mow my yard. I mean, it's not, and Be the Rider PA will tell you, it's not a big yard. Guys, if you want to get rid of your big yards, the best advice I give you is put a big garage right smack in the middle of it. That's what I did. And I used to have a pool out there and had a lot of grass, right? I took the pool out and put a big garage in, and it takes up most of the room. And looking at it now, and everybody says once you build a garage, you're always going to want to go bigger. I should have went bigger, right? So it's 24 foot wide and it's 30 foot deep, right? I should have went 30 foot wide and I should have went 50 foot deep. I have enough lawn out there to do. I should have done that to give me more room. Because there's one thing myself and Miss Sharp, we was on that recent camping trip. You know, we're out there cruising the mountaintops and riding around, and stopped at a couple Harley dealers and found a couple. We found, I think I told the guys, a 2008 Harley Heritage, and she turned the tag over. It said 9,000. She said, "Now you can buy that." She said, "You're not trading the touring bike on it." She said, "But you can buy it outright. If you want to buy that bike, just buy that bike." I was like, huh. I said, "What about the other two bikes?" She said, "Keep them." She said, "But it's your job to figure out where to put those 3 bikes in the garage." So she did open the door for a different motorcycle to come in the garage. I don't know if you guys watch Sean Smoke or not. One day my goal in life is to be like Sean Smoke. Have a different bike for every day of the month. And just kind of collect them and hold on to them. I don't know why. Because we know they're not worth anything to sell them out or trade them in, really. They're not worth much when you do that. So, we'll see what happens. Don't forget to plan ahead for, yes, Pam. Pam 24 is coming. And we are opening it up. And I'm kind of on the ending cusp. This is a Be the Rider PA event, okay? And I'm helping to the point where I can give input, and I have some ideas of some places to take you guys to visit that's really cool in the area. But he's done all the planning and all the legwork for this thing. So we talked about it being just a YouTuber event. I really don't they're okay, but you guys have been to those, right? My camera's in your face, your camera's in my face. If you do that, Mike Bodine wouldn't be able to come, right? Dell wouldn't be able to come, D.A. Bishop, because they're not really YouTubers. They're YouTube viewers. So we want everybody to come. Bikers, riders, YouTube viewers, whatever. Everybody should get to come to this thing. Yeah, it's 4 days of just meeting everybody, hanging out. HDR is leading a ride. I am leading one of the rides this year for sure. And we'll map that out and give you the most adventurous ride I can give you. None of the rides that we are mapping out are like, don't come here thinking it's going to be the triple nickel. It's not going to be the tail of the dragon. It's not going to be the back of the dragon. These aren't technical roads. These are nice country roads that we ride through here to get to different local places that we like to visit and see. So, you just need, what I'm saying is, don't get over petrified about us taking you on some kind of twisty, bendy, windy, curvy road, because it's not going to happen. So, my brother has a collection of over 85 motorcycles. Does he have a problem? No. My wife has a collection of over 200 pairs of shoes. Does she have a problem? Maybe. So, can't have an event without Mike Bodine. You are right, Bob. Mike goes to all the events, as well as D.A. Bishop. Dell also, if he's not booked somewhere else, does go to all the events also. And we love having those gentlemen with us for sure. June 12th through the 16th, it is at the Comfort Inn? Bingo. The Comfort Inn in Triadelphia, I believe is the name of the hotel that we're using. So we'll all be there. They do have a restaurant there in the hotel, which is very handy. They have outdoor cooking, which they said they will provide, or we can provide our own food if we all want to get together and make a big cookout. They do have a swimming pool if you want to bring your swimsuit and hang out and do some, swimming. But, the Comfort Inn, right, the Comfort Inn in Triadelphia. Room rates are really, really good, so I think we'll have a good time. I mean, at first, myself and Roguelite and Andy talked to Be the Rider PA, and we're like, nobody's gonna come to this thing, man. You guys want to go ride curvy roads in Tennessee or North Carolina, or you guys want to go to Ohio? But it'll be nice. It'll be a nicer area to meet up. No stress. And I know a lot of people don't like riding twisties out there. A lot of you, folks, and it was proven last year that there was a lot of folks that just don't have twisty roads by their house, so they don't ride them, right? And then we won't have that stress factor. So anyway, scroll up a little bit. I'm trying. Hold on. Let's see. Brian, good morning. I put the ring rider cover on. Hope to try it out today. See if it prevents butt rot here in Florida. Brian, it definitely will, my friend, for sure. I'm looking for a real quick here. Toby Norton, there's a topic for you. Their reasons, excuses not to ride. I think I've done before excuses not to ride. And there's 100 million excuses why not to ride. As for Roguelite Andy and Be the RPA, I play with one of the best excuse givers why a reason not to ride. Good, bad, or ugly. I don't know if any of you guys seen The Beard. Am I pronouncing that right? The Beard. When he crashed his bike and did that video, and Miss HR sitting on the couch, with tears in her eyes, looking at me saying, you could be dead on that motorcycle at any minute. It makes you think a little bit, makes you wonder. I mean, but I told her I'm good with it. I've lived a long, full life, and whatever happens, happens. She goes, well, I don't want to lose you yet. She said, I want you to be around till you're 90. I don't know what she's going to do with me at 90, but that's what she said. I said, that's what she said. All right, guys, I got to kick out of here, man. Have a great day. Chuck, good morning from South Dakota. You guys should be coming home from Sturgis, huh? Sturgis is wrapping up. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching, man. I do appreciate you coming here at 7 a.m. For those of you just tuning in at 8 a.m., I did move the show up an hour. Please follow me on Instagram for news about this show. Please also follow my YouTube page. I put a community chat thing up that said, that I was moving the show also. But if you're watching the rerun, thank you for watching. You know, please click that subscribe button. Give me that big thumbs up. I do appreciate that. And I will talk to everybody next week. Until then, remember, ride your own ride, guys. Be safe out there. Harley Day Ride, your girlfriend HDR, will be down and out in the beautiful, glorious HDR studios here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Have a great day, have a great week, and most of all, ride safe. I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.